Stargaze is the specialized NFT blockchain in the Cosmos ecosystem that will be holding a collaborative mint only for audiovisual NFT collections. I did a video prior to this one highlighting three of those projects, but there will be at least six total participating in this AV mint on their launch pad. This will take place on July 15th. So, my mission is to spread awareness and allow the project creators to highlight all of the unique aspects of their work. I'll get to talk to Signal today, which will certainly be an exclusive collection as you'll hear, and you'll also get to see exactly what the NFTs will give you. All right, so you are from Signal. Thanks for coming on to share all the information about your project. Why don't you give us the premise of the collection and also talk about the team as well?
For sure. So the premise of our project is it's an alternate reality game played across multiple mediums such as Twitter, YouTube, in our Discord, and also through our NFTs. It's about alien contact with Earth. It explores a story covering a year that's about a series of cryptic extraterrestrial messages that the community comes together to try to decipher. Our first collection, this one that we're doing, is called our Elements Collection, and we're doing it to kind of commemorate a major milestone that happened in the game so far. So we had a major transmission that we put out, an open one that was on YouTube and on Twitter. Our community came together and was able to successfully decipher it. And so from that, we're putting out 10 NFTs in a similar style that thematically fit with it. And I can get into the specific theme a little bit later. Otherwise, for our project, we also have a Signal token, which is on Juno. It's a CW20 token,
Right,
and we
right.
have a DAO. What we're trying to do is basically gradually build a DAO and build a community via storytelling, via experience and art.
Got it. Well, it sounds like you've already built some of your community even before the mint. How exactly were they doing the the puzzle before the NFTs? Were you just dropping similar clues around, and now they'll be in NFT form? How did that work?
Yeah, so we wanted to put the game aspect and like the play aspect out front rather than behind the tokenomics or like behind the NFTs or anything. So we've been putting out media that is accessible by anyone. These aren't NFTs; these are just on YouTube, on Twitter, and we've had our puzzles and the mystery kind of buried in that. And then we've been giving out our token as a reward. um, the NFTs will be integrated in the mystery as well. So we're going to have puzzles hidden across them in the metadata, and individuals who hold them will have some special utility in the story as things progress, which will be played out through the dashboard that we have on our site. We don't have our NFT dashboard open right now, but it will be there. People will be able to connect with their wallet. If they have one of our NFTs, there will be certain things that are available to them there.
Oh, great. And even though not everyone's going to get to mint this NFT, you'll be able to keep your community engaged after the mint.
Yeah, absolutely. This is our first series. So our project, we plan to have five major series, my five major collections come out this year, and the first one is planned for August or September. That is separate from this. The one we're doing right now is kind of just an ultra limited kind of fun one. We've collaborated quite a bit with Glitch Candies already for some kind of cross promotion and puzzles and things like that. And so we're joining them on this group release on Stargaze, and so we're putting forward kind of 10 NFTs for that, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, and we're going to take a look at this right now, and then you can let the audience know what they're actually going to do with the NFT because this is not like anything. Right before we started recording, you showed it to me, and this is not like anything that I've seen. So let's set that up, and then we'll get into the actual NFT rather than just talk about the different features. So I've never seen anything like that, but you're going to explain exactly what the community is going to do with that NFT. So let's bring that other screen up.
Yeah, are you able to see mine now?
Yep, now we could see, yeah, we could see exactly. And this would be your dashboard, or is this just a
So what
site that
this
you'll direct people to?
so this is just an example of some of the stuff that's hidden in our messages, the transmissions that we put out, and will also be hidden, in the NFTs. We like to have layers and layers of puzzles. The concept for our project is that these are transmissions from some extraterrestrial source. They're trying to communicate something to us, and us as a community, we're trying to figure it out. So if, for example, if you take the audio from that video that you just played and you put it through a spectrum analyzer, what you see is that's revealed here is actually in the audio. There are images broken up across it, as well as symbols. And from previous puzzles, the community had figured out this number system that we created for this project.
Okay, so those are numbers. I thought they were going to be letters, and I was going to have to find a word, but
Yeah, well, we started with it started with numbers. We thought that that was the most logical thing that aliens would start with to communicate with humans and try to develop some basic understanding. So we developed this kind of number system. So in this one, that's what shows up all across that that transmission. And so the community knew that ahead of time, right? And when they took the audio, they were able to find these images in it. They were able to kind of cut the audio together so that the images actually made sense. What they've devised from this is that they believe this seems to be indicating a map potentially of the alien's home solar system. And then looking at the numbers and how the numbers were distributed across the planets and features within it, they were able to deduce that these represented elements. And so, this is kind of aliens indicating that they have fundamental understanding of of physics and chemistry and so on, and also trying to build a foundation for further dialogue with humans. And so, looking at that, they were able to go back to the basic sorry, the regular video, and people realize that as this thing ticks around, what it's indicating here are the 10 most common elements in in the Milky Way, in our galaxy. And so this was a major kind of milestone for the community to decipher that puzzle. And so this leads into the NFT series we're doing here, which is the Elements series. And so we're doing 10 NFTs. They will be visually similar to what you just watched, but a little bit. They'll each have they'll be unique individually, but there will be one for each of these elements, and will be it will be trying to represent the unique characteristics of each element, as well as their kind of place um, in in the universe, and as well as kind of in human history and things like that as well. And so in the metadata of the NFTs, there will be various kind of puzzles, little bits of lore hidden in them, as well as in the audio and in the visuals of the NFT.
got it. So you mentioned there'll be different layers of puzzles.
Yeah.
Uh, is there an individual component to working out the puzzles, or will this be done as a community?
So the goal of the puzzling is to promote collaboration between community members. We don't want anything to be too hidden behind basically a paywall, right? So the people who own these NFTs will have access to certain pieces of lore, certain elements of future puzzles, as well as the narrative progresses, maybe special roles they might play in some of the decision makings, or sorry, some of the decisions made to progress the story. I don't, because our whole thing is a mystery. I don't want to like reveal too much about what that would look like.
Of course, people got to be patient for this one.
Yeah, for sure. But that being said, there will be kind of special things that are associated with holding it, but it will be something that still kind of requires collaboration with other people in, ter- in to fully unlock it.
Got it. Okay. And then once the you know the final puzzle is solved,
Mhm.
does the community just move on to something else? Are these NFTs useful in another way? Are they now a collection piece?
Yeah, so we see them as a collection piece. We see this kind of as commemorating a lot of the collaboration that the community has done so far. We have quite a fairly active Discord. A lot of people that have contributed quite a bit to kind of figuring out the story so far. And so our hope is that as we build out this universe and tell the story that we have planned, we have a 12-month story arc all planned out, that these things will have value as yeah, like a collection, as something as a memory, right, of part of an experience and so on.
Got it. And I was going to ask earlier why such a small collection, but now I could kind of see each piece is pretty complex, and you're going to roll out several series that are related. What will be the total number of NFTs that you plan to release, or is that not decided yet?
Over the course of the first year, so we are planning to do three kind of tiers of NFT. Maybe tier is not the best word, but there are the major ones that are closely related to the story advancement. We're following a 5-act story arc, and so each of those will come out at the end of each act. Right now, we're just in Act One of the story. Um, and then we will also have these kind of special limited ones like this one. And then third, we will probably have some more what we would call community oriented NFTs that are maybe kind of a lower threshold to entry. Like we know that we're not really interested in producing profile pictures, for example, but we do want to find some way to have for people to kind of wear a badge of the community in some way. And we're kind of exploring what that would look like, to make sure that it doesn't, to make sure that it jives well with the project otherwise. So overall, we're looking at uh, I don't know, 500 to 1,500 NFTs this year.
Got it. Okay. And I guess your community, it sounds like you have a lot of, like you said, you have a pretty active Discord. Your project is one of the projects that probably needs a Discord to accomplish what you're looking to do, and maybe they'll be able to weigh in on that because, like you said, there's a DAO involved as well.
Mhm.
Why don't we talk about the DAO and the fungible token, if that's all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I What I'm curious about is how the the fungible token. You said that's going to be on Juno. Juno to me is kind of turning into the DAO chain of
Yep.
the Cosmos, which is fine. The tooling there seems to be really ideal for creating DAOs. How is a token on Juno going to complement or enhance the NFT community, which is minting on Stargaze, or does it not matter that they're on separate chains?
Mhm. So we see the DAO. So our team, our main team is 4 people. We see the DAO as our fifth partner, and 20% of our sales, minting sales, go directly to the DAO treasury. So we want to explore this as a way to then reward community members and have some level of community ownership over our project. We believe that if we have success this year and build a property that is, interesting, that provides a very good experience for people, as well as high quality NFTs at the end, then we think that this can move forward into us being a kind of creative and collaborative hub on Juno, where we can maybe be promoting other projects, maybe people from our community. We can have the community vet, the ideas that we have after this kind of thing. And so we kind of see this first year as, yeah, in some ways, an experiment in building a community. But I don't I I don't want to promise too much long term. I think that when projects get too into this grand long term vision, they promise too much or they kind of lose sight of what's necessary now. But that's kind of best case scenario for us after 1 year if we're able to prove ourselves. And so that's where the DAO will kind of come into it more and more.
Have you distributed the token already, or is that something that's going to be dropped after the mint? How's that going to
So
work?
our tokens are distributed every month as rewards for solving our puzzles. And
Oh
so by
wow,
playing the game, that's how the community and DAO are built.
understood. So, um, are you targeting just your Discord community, who obviously they're the most knowledgeable about the project? Are those the ones that are eligible for the fungible token only?
So what we do is we try to encourage people to join our Discord. That's the main place where people play. And when we distribute the token, we do so based on not like finding the solution, but the contribution that someone made. So if someone comes in and they have some, they went down a little rabbit hole and they have some interesting theories, like of course we're going to reward that person too. In terms of gameplay, we're very influenced by things like even like Dungeons and Dragons, and this kind of how experience is rewarded in multiple ways. It's not just for getting a kill. It's also for role play or coming up with clever solutions to challenges and things like that. So we're trying to incorporate that kind of thing and really just put like gameplay in you know what I mean, in the community conversation.
Got it. Got it. Well,
Uh,
this
we
is
do
really
have
interesting.
we do
I've
have an airdrop. Sorry, go ahead.
mentioned the airdrop.
We do have an airdrop that will be distributed over the summer in a couple stages. So this goes to eligible people on Secret, Juno, Atom, and Osmo, people who were delegating to IBC relayers a few months ago. That's how we based our snapshot. Um, and that's another thing that as the community solves some major puzzles, some more transmissions we have planned, that will release the airdrop for everyone.
Oh
So we're
wow.
hoping that will be kind of a cool opportunity for the sort of the main players to like they're the ones that are rewarding the rest of the community in a way by advancing things and getting distribution for others.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. You're kind of rewarding the interoperability aspect by targeting um, the relayer role that the validators play and those that delegate to them, and obviously the audiovisual NFTs that are now puzzle pieces in this game that your entire Discord is now involved in. So I guess my last question has to do with the DAO itself. What do you hope, or what are some ideas that you have for that DAO treasury? How it gets used, and how will the voting go to deploy those funds in your you know ideal scenario that you have planned or your team has planned?
So we'd like to take advantage of interchain accounts when those are operational on DAO. We think it would be really cool for us for our projects NFTs to be able to build the treasury, to build Juno into the treasury, build stars into the treasury, even right, and have this distributed as, for example, staking rewards for people who are staking to our DAO. Our token is a fixed supply. It is burnable, and we're going to have some things you can do with burning later, but it's not something where we are going to have high rewards or like Ponzi rewards or anything like that. So for the DAO, we would really like to use the projects that we see as fundamental to the ecosystem, like Juno, as rewards. I'm not familiar with any other DAOs doing that. Usually, they build like a second token that is given out, but we think it would be kind of cool to to be rewarding the native token that we're built on top of.
Right. One thing that I always wonder is how these fungible tokens, either DAO tokens or fungible tokens related to NFT projects, are going to have value. Um, but you're going to link them to, let's say, staking rewards, which are reliable, right? They're going to come in every 24 hours or whatever the different chains are doing. So having that token, your token, the signal token, right? It's called the signal token,
Yep.
is going to result in passive rewards to the community based on Juno stars or the other tokens that your community values. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's not, this is not one of those airdrops where you get the airdrop and you what do I do with this right away? You're kind of putting it to work right away, which I think is which is smart. Otherwise, it becomes a possible token that people are just going to dump, and after that, I think it's hard to recover,
hmm
especially in the market that we're in. Right?
Yeah, and well, yeah, we don't have the rewards online yet. Is the only thing. They are coming very shortly. But the thing is, yeah, and so that's kind of how we see the relationship with the DAO and the team operating, in the sense that they have a share of the NFT revenue, um, and then they have influence over some decision making as time goes on. We didn't do a large airdrop to start. Most of the supply is just in the DAO treasury, and then in kind of team and team control. But we are steadily giving out rewards, so it's a little bit different than a lot of projects that started with a very large airdrop.
Yeah.
We really want the mechanism by which people acquire signal. One of the main mechanisms is to be interaction, like real interaction with the project. And then through that, we feel that we will be able to build a strong collaborative community, and one that can potentially, lead to other sources of value generation. Even so far on our Discord, we've seen a lot of people that I think are just kind of starting projects that are just kind of joining in and talking with us. And I think maybe they see some opportunity in our community, and we would love to down the road be in a position where we're able to help bootstrap other projects, and revenue from that comes back to the DAO.
I definitely think that's needed. Having it like kind of a example project with a knowledgeable and successful team plus a knowledgeable, enthusiastic core group of um, NFT buyers or at least participants in your DAO. Uh, my last question has to do with the staking. You mentioned that people that are staking to your DAO, that's a little bit different than staking the layer one Juno token, right?
For
You're
sure.
When you're staking to the DAO, is it as simple as you're taking those tokens out of circulation and now you have some kind of um, either voting rights or a share of those residual rewards coming from staking the treasury funds, or is it
That's
more?
right.
That's it. So
That's right. And then we are doing we're doing occasional snapshots, and we'll be trying to reward the community as often as we can with, sort of proof of participation, this kind of thing. Sort of like badges, this kind of thing. So we're keeping an eye on that as well.
understood, understood. Well, I really appreciate it. You took us into like a very unique project here. The event on July 15th, I said before we started recording, this has a chance to get looked back on a year or two from now as like the first of its kind. And, unless there's a specific need for an NFT to be a static JPEG, these are very interesting additions to the capabilities of NFTs. And we're early on in the Stargaze. Um, since the launch, it's only been a couple of months, so this has a chance to be an important event. So thank you for coming on and having all this info for us.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate the chance to speak with you. The other people we're collaborating with on this are some really interesting projects, we think. And yeah, it's cool for Stargaze. This drop will be coming with like new functionality on the program. MP4s and audio and so on are a new thing, and we're hoping that we can help bring quality to that, and and help showcase new features in Stargaze, basically.
Great. Well, good luck for the mint and good luck to your community solving these puzzles so that I can get my airdrop.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check my wallet right after this to see if I qualify for your airdrop. But yeah, thanks again, and
Awesome.
we'll stay in touch. You got to let me know how the community does. I'll probably pop into your Discord as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. You have a good day.
Yep.